Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. Anybody here besides me done anything real stupid recently? Anybody have any friends, relatives, parents, children, or students that have done anything real stupid? Everybody's hand should be up now. I want to share with you something that happened to me. It happened a couple years ago when I was at a Toastmaster meeting. Dr. Pat Ganji was the joke master, and she told some self-deprecatory Italian humor. You know that kind of joke that starts, "You know you're Italian when?" And Dr. Pat said, "You can bench press 325, but you still cry when you think about your mom." Most people would find that funny, but I had to overanalyze that. I thought, well, I'm Italian, and I do cry when I think about my mom. As a matter of fact, she passed away a couple of years ago. And one of the things I did to memorialize her passing is I bought a ceramic brick at the Tempe Y. They put her name on it and put it on the wall. And now whenever I go into that Y, I go past that brick and I run my fingertips across the face of it. And I can feel the letters of her name engraved in the ceramic. And sometimes I do cry when I think about the wonderful times we had when she was alive. But Dr. Pat said, and you can bench press 325. So I wondered, could I bench press 325? Most people would have left that thought right at the Toastmaster meeting. But no, not me. I had to take that with me. I had to make that a personal quest. Why? Because stupid is as stupid does. Now, a couple weeks after that, I was at our real estate office. And I noticed one of the guys there starting to drink a lot of protein milkshakes. So I said, "Alan, what's with the protein shakes?" He said he was turning 40 that year and he wanted to get in the best shape of his life. Alan's goal was to bench press 300 pounds because he said Tiger Woods could. Alan had a workout plan, a strength coach. I said, "Alan, just out of curiosity, how much do you weigh?" He said, 185. I said, "You weigh 185. You're going to bench press 300 pounds? I said, "I've got some motivation for you. I've got a $100 bet that says you can't bench press 300 pounds in the next 30 days. He looked me in the eye. We shook. We had a bet. You know, when he looked me in the eye, he had that eye of a tiger. And when you get to be middle-aged, you should lose that eye. Because a week later, he walked back in our real estate office, and this time his right arm was in a sling. I said, "Alan, what happened?" He said he was lifting too much weight, and he ripped his shoulder muscles. I said, "Alan, that's too bad." Now that should have been a warning sign for me, but it wasn't, because stupid is as stupid does. So a couple months after that, I walked into the Tempe Y. I veered to the right side of the central corridor, as I usually do, and I ran my fingertips across my mom's brick. I went into the weight room, and there were several Husky high schoolers in there. Oh, I know what they were doing. They were getting in shape for fall football. And I shouldn't have been noticing, but I did. They were having problems getting past 300 in the bench. And then it happened. That music started playing in my head. That theme song to Rocky. Yo, Rocky. Hey, Paulie. Yo, Adrian. How's Cuff and Link? I can lift heavy things too. Why, I thought those boys might need a muscular mentor. I thought they might want a middle-aged role model. So I started piling plates on the bar. And even before I got to that impressive array of 45-pound plates, something ripped in my shoulder. The bar came down on my chest and pinned me to the bench. Of course I didn't have a spotter, because Rocky didn't need a spotter. All I could do was lay there like a turtle on my back, lift my head and say, "Hey guys, could you give me a hand here?" They lifted the weight off my chest. My shoulder was on fire. I went home, packed it in ice. The next day I went to see an orthopedic surgeon. He did an examination and said, "You're going to need an MRI. Are you claustrophobic?" I said, "Of course not." The next day, the MRI people called to confirm that appointment. They asked that same question, "Are you claustrophobic?" I said, "No way." The next day I went in to have the MRI done. I did the necessary insurance paperwork, and she asked again, "Are you claustrophobic?" I said, "Well, I don't think so." I went back to where the MRI machines were, and I heard a loud banging sound. Kabong, kabong, kabong. Anybody ever have a closed MRI? Isn't that just special? Then you know what that banging sound is. It's the sound the machine makes when it takes the pictures. And when I went into that room and saw this huge MRI machine in this tiny little opening, it looked like I'd be going back into the womb. And when I lay down on that platform and it slowly squeezed me in, I thought it'd be better to close my eyes. And as soon as I did, I started thinking about death. And then I thought, no, I'm going to be cremated. This is what it must feel like right before those flames come on. A technician came on the headset and said, Mr. Pastore, if you don't quit hyperventilating, we're going to reschedule this appointment. So I started praying. I said positive affirmations, Bible verses, inch by inch, anything's a cinch. And 25 minutes later, that machine spewed me out. What's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is, as soon as you get to be middle-aged, you should lose that eye of the tiger. And when you get your AARP card, and you qualify for those senior meals at Denny's, it's time to realize God measures us by the size of our hearts, not by the amount of weight we can lift. And no matter how old you get to be, no matter how many gray hairs start popping up, don't ever forget, stupid is as
Stupid as
Adam Tozer as.